Beruchim Abbaim B'Shem Hashem. It is great to see everyone here tonight. Before we begin talking about an incredible, profound point about the whole idea of Yaakov and Esav as two major forces in our lives, I would like to mention that the SHIUR Torah of tonight will be dedicated לעילוי נשמת מורחמי גאון הצדיק רבי יצחק ישראל בן סול שולמית שרבני זכר צדיק וקדוש לברכה לחיי העולם הבא, that the zechut of the Torah that he dedicated in his life with the yeshiva and the students and the kollel and his children and grandchildren, Baruch Hashem, zechuto omedet la'ad, with a power of Torah that he's dedicated his life to. So we are dedicating the SHIUR Torah. אנחנו מקדישים את השיעור לעילוי נשמתו שהיום פקידת שנתו ראש חודש כסלו. מורי ורבותיי, I think it's true to say that there are many people in the world who wonder about some families that when we see the children of those families, it seems to be a pretty interesting view when we look at some people. It seems that there are families that you see them investing so much in their children, dedicating their time, effort, resources in educating their kids, instilling values to the children, trying their best to become their role models and to try to show them and guide them into becoming the most beautiful children in the world. And the end result of this enormous effort sometimes comes with, how do I say it, in a very, very unpleasant or unexpected end results of the children. We see the children are completely off the way that the parents try to educate them and to raise them as. And we see that many, many times there is absolutely no comparison between the effort and the end result of the way the children are conducting their lives. On the other hand, it seems to be that there are families that apparently, for some reason, one way or the other, are making absolutely no effort, zero investment, paying almost no attention to the education of their children. And believe it or not, somehow they are resulting the most beautiful souls and successful children, children who are the source of their pride, and children that are following the proper way of life. And you look at these two possibilities and these two results, and many of us are wondering or asking ourselves, how is it possible? How is it possible that for some people, you are making such an enormous effort to raise them in a specific way, and the end result of your effort is absolutely unrecognized? And on the other hand, some people that are making absolutely zero effort are ending up getting the best flower in the garden. So some of us would like to call it all different kinds of names. Raising kids is about luck. Raising kids has nothing to do with your effort. Children are human beings on their own. And it doesn't matter how much you're doing, in the end of the day, they will end up being what they were born to be. All kinds of, so to speak, excuses or explanations why apparently there is no connection between the effort and the results. Truth to be said, if we look around us and people in our generation, we might have a little easier way to understand why some of the effort that we make does not produce the results that we wish. And there is a lot of talk about education and parenting, and it's definitely not the time. But when it comes to giants, when it comes to family of excellence, we have to agree that sometimes the question becomes a little harder. This question is pretty powerful, especially when we pay attention to what we are going to read in the parasha, Be'ezrat Hashem, this Shabbat, Parashat Toledot. In Parashat Toledot, we know that Yitzhak and Rivka, both holy of all holiness in the world, Yitzhak Avinu, Olat Emima, Kadosh Merechem. Yitzhak Avinu, Alav HaShalom, is marrying Rivka Imenu, Aleh HaShalom, Tzaddiket. And when Yitzhak and Rivka got married, the Torah describes that at the very beginning they had a hard time to have children. And then, Vayi'etar Yitzhak LaHashem lenochach ishto, and Yitzhak Avinu is praying to Borei Olam to have children. Vayi'ater lo Hashem, Batah Rivka ishto, Yitzhak Avinu is praying, Rivka is praying, lenochach ishto, he is on one side, she's on the other side. They're both pouring their hearts to Borei Olam and asking Borei Olam for children. ויעתר לו השם ותהה רבקה אשתו, ברוך השם בשעה טובה ומוצלחת, במזל וברכה, רבקה אימנו is pregnant. We all know the story. I'm going to go through it in a very, very quick background. And we will emphasize the points that has to do with what we would like to discuss tonight. ויתרוצצו הבנים בקרבה. ויתרוצצו הבנים בקרבה, and Rivka Imenu walking with her pregnancy, and she realized that something in her pregnancy is off. Something is not smooth enough. ויתרוצצו הבנים בקרבה, ותאמר אם כן למה זה אנוכי ותלך לדרוש את השם. So Rivka Imenu is seeing that when she is going, as the Midrash said, where she is going next to a place of Avodah Zarah, welcome. When she is going to the place of Avodah Zarah, the baby is feeling attracted to it. And when she is going next to Bet HaKnesset, or a holy place, she realized that the baby wants to go there too. So she didn't know what's going on. She felt this is maybe a confused child. ויאמר השם לה, שני גויים בבטנך, ושני לאומים ממעייך ייפרדו, ולאום מלאום יאמץ, ורב יעבוד צעיר. Back in the days, when a woman had a question, a wonder, a concern, instead of going to a doctor for a normal ultrasound, back in the days, she goes to Bet HaMidrash של שם ועבר, and she goes to the Bet HaMidrash of Shem, and she's asking the question, what's happening? And the answer was, Vayomer Hashem la, through Shem, she got the message, Shene goim bevitnech, ushne leumim mimme'ayich yiparedu, ul'om mil'om ye'ematz, verav ya'avod tzayir. Apparently, it seems like the concern of Rivka Imenu was that she felt that the baby in her stomach is a little bit confused child. Correct? Confused child. On one hand, when he sees Bet HaMidrash, he wants to go out. And when he sees the Bet Avodah Zarah, he wants to go out. And she felt this is a kind of an uncertain, undecided kind of a child. And the truth is, when she goes to Bet HaMidrash El Shem, all she cares to know that this is not one confused child, but rather this is two kids. So it seems to be sufficient enough if the answer in Bet HaMidrash of Shem would be, Vayomer Hashem la, you have two babies. You have two children. So relax, this is not a confused child. This is a child. This is one child that is completely holy, and the other child is completely righteous. One is a tzaddik, one is the rasha, and it's all good. But that's not the kind of a news Rivka Imenu heard. The news Rivka Imenu heard, Vayomer Hashem la, Shene goyim bevitnech, you are having two nations. But not just two nations. Ushene leumim mime'ayich yiparedu. You have also two kingdoms. Two kingdoms coming out of your stomach. And when they're going out of your stomach, they're going to separate. They're going to depart from each other. They're going to go on two different ways in life. Meaning to say one will pursue the other, and one will fight the other to become stronger. V'rav ya'avod tza'ir, the older will serve the younger. That was the kind of a news Rivka Imenu heard. And we all know the story. And when was the time for them to come out, so who came first? Who came out first? Esav. And it might sound a little not too significant detail in the story, but let's pay attention to this. The Torah said, "Ve'acharichen," and afterwards, Yatsa Ahiv, his brother, came out. Ve'yado ohezet ba'akev Esav, meaning to say, the hand of the second one was holding in the ankle of Esav. Meaning to say, there was some kind of connection. There was some kind of pursuing. Yaakov Avinu was touching and holding the akev, the ankle of Esav. And this is how Esav and Yaakov came out to the world. And even though we have to agree that Yitzhak Avinu and Rivka Imenu gave Yaakov and Esav the top-notch holy Jewish education, we have to agree that they all ate the same food, which was definitely top level of kashrut, and they got the best education from Yitzhak and Rivka, both, every single day, their entire life up until this point. Until they became a little older, the Torah said, "Vayigdelu hane'arim," as they grew up, then we see that they started to separate from each other. ויהי עשיו איש יודע ציד איש שדה, ויעקב איש תם יושב אוהלים. And a very simple explanation, Yaakov Avinu was living life in Bet HaMidrash. Yaakov Avinu was learning Torah. Yaakov Avinu was dedicating his life to the spiritual mission and journey of his life. And Esav was a little fun guy. Esav was a little troublemaker, if you wish. Esav was ish tzayid, ish sadeh. And the Torah and obviously all the midrashim and the explanations are not taking those words lightly. Ish tzayid, ish sadeh. Not just somebody who is a hunter, somebody who is out on the field, but rather יודע הציד, said Rashi, לצוד ולרמות את אביו בפיו. He was a little liar. I don't know why I say a little, but it was a liar that used to trick his father with some questions. Like what? What kind of a question? What kind of questions Esav used to ask his father, Yitzhak Avinu? Rashi brings down the questions that he used to ask. שואלו, אבא, איך מעשירין את המלח? Abba, how do you take maaser? How do you separate maaser from salt? Now, every kid in the world knows that melach, salt, is not a kind of food you're taking maasrot from. But when Esav is asking, his father Yitzhak, how do you take out Ma'asrot from the Melach? It seems to be that obviously Esav is fulfilling all the mitzvot in the Torah. Obviously he's fulfilling 613 mitzvot, but he takes upon himself some extra ones, some humrot, that he wants to know, how do you take out Ma'aser from salt? So, and then the Torah said, Vaye'ehav Yitzhak et Esav. Now we have Yitzhak and Rivka and Yaakov Esav. It would have been very easy for Yitzhak and Rivka to have two children that are following the way of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, following the way of the Torah, and that's the way it should be. But there is a little conflict in the family. You have one child who is Ishtam Yoshev Ohali, and you have, on the other hand, someone who is Said Ish Sadeh. Yodea Said Ish Sadeh. And the Torah said, clearly, there is a lot of talk about it, but it's clearly the words of the Pasuk, that Yitzhak and Rivka loved Esav and Yaakov in different ways. Vaye'ehav Yitzhak et Esav kitzayit befiv. First and foremost, Yitzhak Avinu did not just naturally loved Esav. It was not a natural love. From the word in Hebrew, Vaye'ehav means he had to make an effort to love. And not only that, it says Vaye'ehav Yitzhak et Esav for a reason. Kitzayid befiv, because he was a hunter. In other words, when you love someone because you have a reason, you have to make an effort to love him for that reason. And it's not just a natural love. If you ask any mom and dad in the world, why do you love your children? They're going to look at you with a very, very, funny face and say, what do you mean, why I love my child? This is my child. What do you mean, why? Who needs a reason to love their children? And as we see, in the relationship, in the love between Rivka and Yaakov Avinu, her son, the Torah specified it as a natural love. Rivka ohevet et Yaakov. Rivka loved Yaakov. Lama? Simply, she loved Yaakov. There's no reason next to it. There's no reason attached to it. And then, Esav, the Torah said, ויאמר עשיו אל יעקב, אל עיתני נא מן האדום הזה, כי עייף אנוכי, על כן קרא שמו אדום. And Esav came back from the field, and he asked Yaakov for food, for the soup. ויאמר Yaakov said, sure, I will give it to you, but you have to remember there is no free lunches in the world. You want my food? I'll give you the food. I'll give you the soup, but you need to pay for it. What is the payment? Sell me your firstborn rights. Sell that to me. Esav, when you heard the exchange, when you think about it honestly, if we think about it in a logical way, selling the firstborn rights of Esav for a bowl of soup. If you can sell that incredible rights for a bowl of soup, it means that you either love soup so much, or you have no value to what the Bechorah, for what the firstborn rights is all about. And this is exactly what Esav said. Vayomer Esav, Hinei anochi olech lamut, velama ze li Bechorah. I'm about to die. What do I need a Bechorah for? Give me the soup, no problem. I'll sell it to you for nothing. And he bought it. Vayomer Yaakov Ishav Ali kayom, and he bought it. If I go and skip a little bit on the other topics that the Torah discusses until the other incident between Yaakov and Esav and Yitzhak and Rivka, we all know the story, so I'm going to go very, very short on that. We know that Yitzhak commended or requested from Esav to go give him some food before he passed away, because Yitzhak Avinu had an agenda to give the berachot, the blessings, to Esav. ועשה לי מטעמים כאשר אהבתי ואביא אליי בעבור תברכך נפשי בטרם אמות. So Yitzhak Avinu is ready to give the berachot, to continue his generation through Esav, to give the berachot to Esav. Esav was extremely excited. He's going to get the berachot. He's really happy. What Esav didn't realize, that his father Yitzhak Avinu was married. But not just married to a woman. He was married to Rivka Imenu Alea Shalom, Kodesh Kodashim. And she never let any detail in the family to pass by her without her paying attention to everything that's going on. Rivka Shomat, we know the story. Rivka overheard if you wish, that Yitzhak commended Esav to give him the food and he's going to get the berachot. Rivka said, there is absolutely no way I will give the berachot. I will allow Yitzhak Avinu to give the berachot to Esav. So she called up Yaakov and she told him, listen to me, and whatever going to happen, don't worry about it. You go give the food to your father. I'm gonna put the clothes of Esav on you. We are going to trick Yitzhak a little bit. We're going to tell him all kinds of things, but in the end of the day, I want you to get the berachot. Yaakov Avinu titen emet leYaakov is extremely uncomfortable with the mission, but Rivka Imenu is saying, and he has to do it. And he goes, and as he goes to Yitzhak, the Torah said that Yitzhak didn't feel comfortable. Yitzhak was suspicious a little bit. He was concerned. He wasn't sure this is Esav. Vayavo el aviv, Yaakov is coming. Vayomer avi. Vayomer hineni mi ata beni. Who are you? Vayomer Yaakov el aviv. Abba, what do you mean? Anochi Esav bechorecha. I am your firstborn Esav. But not only that, עשיתי כאשר דיברת אליי. I did what you told me to do. A, you're not Esav. B, who asked you to do anything? עשיתי כאשר דיברת אליי. I didn't speak to you. קומנה שבה ואוכלה מצדי בעבור תברכני נפשך. Please get up and eat from what I hunted for you so you can bless me. Yitzhak heard the words, Anochi Esav bechorecha. He heard that. Asiti kasher tzivitani, kasher dibarta elai. He got the words. He heard that. But he was still not sure. Vayomer Yitzhak el beno, ma ze miharta limtzo beni? How is it possible that you brought the food so quickly? Vayomer ki yikra Hashem elokecha lefanai. Still, Yitzhak is not completely happy with what he sees. Come here, I would like to feel you. What do I need to fill you with? I need to answer a concern I have. "Ha'ata beni Esav im lo." So he's clearly going to verify, are you Esav or you're not? ויגש יעקב אל יצחק אביו, וימושהו, and he's touching him, he's feeling him. ויאמר, he's still not sure. ויאמר, הכל קול יעקב, והידיים ידי עשיו. Still, your voice sound like Yaakov, but your hands feels like Esav. In other words, I'm still confused. ולא הכירו. He wasn't sure. כי היו ידיו כדי עשיו אחיו שעירות, ויברכהו. And even though he was not clear who he was, he still blessed him. But he needed the last confirmation. ויאמר אתה זה בני עשיו, ויאמר אני. Then he ate, and we all know the story. When Esav came back, and the whole drama that took place when he realized that Yaakov, so to speak, in his language, stole the berachot from him. Moreover, Rabotai, it is extremely, extremely important to pay attention to this entire issue of Yaakov and Esav. What is happening with it? Let's try to analyze it a little bit. It seems to be that from the moment that Yaakov and Esav came out of the world, they had two separate ways of life. It seems like Yaakov Avinu was going on the righteous way. We can call Yaakov a tzaddik, Yaakov ishtam yoshev ali, and we can call Esav a rasha. So one is evil, one is righteous. Fair enough, more or less, the impression that we get from the parasha. And then the obvious question is, I think the fundamental question is to try to understand Yitzhak Avinu. Why Rivka ohevet et Yaakov? It seems to be pretty clear and easy. Lama. Who wouldn't like a son like Yaakov Avinu? It's pretty easy to love him. A beautiful Baal Hesed, a beautiful Baal Midot, sitting and learning Torah, living a spiritual life. Why? Well, of course, it's easy to understand why Rivka ohevet et Yaakov. But Vayehav Yitzhak et Esav. Why was Yitzhak Avinu had to make such an effort to love Esav? Why do you love evil? So some people have an easy way to go, an easy way out on this. They said even if you have an evil child in the house, even if you have a troublemaker in the house, so to speak, the way to handle a troublemaker is with love. I cannot agree with that more, 100% true. But it seems like the relationship between Yitzhak and Esav was very, very, very deep, were a very deep relationship. And we know that when Yitzhak was speaking to Esav, Esav tried to make Yitzhak believe that he is super righteous. Not only he's fulfilling all the Torah mitzvot, but also he wants to know if I can take maaser from a salt. And the question is, was Yitzhak Avinu, I don't know if we are allowed to use the word, but was Yitzhak Avinu tamim? I don't think it's even a proper word in the question to ask. Well, you can be Esav Rasha and fool your father as if you're the biggest tzaddik in the world, and Yitzhak Avinu don't recognize any of that. You can really go and fool Yitzhak Avinu as if you are the biggest tzaddik in the world. You're going on Gilui Arayot, Avodah Zarah, Shfichut Damim, And all of a sudden you come with all kinds of a question of Halav Israel, and Halav Israel is even better. It's even better, She'ela. But how do I take Maaser from a Melach, and Yitzhak Avinu would say, "Why Shtabach Shemo, such a tzaddik I'm raising in my house." It's so easy to fool Yitzhak Avinu, Olat Emima. And besides, how in the world Yitzhak Avinu is planning to give the berachot to Esav? Give the berachot to Esav. Even if we say that Yitzhak Avinu felt that Yaakov will be fine on his own, and he needs to show some extra love to Esav, because probably by loving him, there is a bigger chance I will bring him close to Avodat Hashem. Fair enough. But when we speak about the berachot, what kind of berachot are we talking about? We're talking about the berachot that whatever you give doesn't go from your bank account. This is not a wire transaction that your money is going from you to Esav. You're talking about the berachot, the blessings that are going to be by generations. The generations of Yitzhak Avinu will be continued by Esav and his generations after him. So even if you feel that you need to love Esav to keep him close, how is it possible to understand that Yitzhak Avinu chose to give the berachot to Esav? And the last point, there's a lot of talk about it, but I'm just going to try to make the point of the parasha today. The last thing is, let's believe that Yitzhak Avinu wanted to give the berachot to Esav. Okay? He wanted to give the berachot to Esav. And we understand the value that Yitzhak Avinu for sure understood, the value of the berachot is about to give. Yitzhak Avinu is sitting down and waiting for the food to come so he can give the berachah to Esav. When Yaakov showed up and he gave him the food, we see constantly that Yitzhak Avinu is not sure, and he's checking, he's trying to verify if this is really Esav. He's asking him questions, he's trying to feel him, he's trying to touch him, he's trying to make sure to confirm this is Esav. And in the very end of the process, the verification process, we see that Yitzhak Avinu is still not clear that this is Esav. Velo ikiro, akol kol Yaakov, vayadayim yedei Esav. He is not sure this is his son. And if you are not sure this is Esav, why are you blessing him anyway? Zayvarecheu. Yitzhak Avinu wanted to give the berachot to Esav. He is not sure this is Esav. He is giving the berachot anyways, on a question mark, in a doubt. And in the very end, when he realized that Yaakov Avinu, so to speak, tricked him, when he speaks to Esav and he tells him, Achicha ba, achicha b'mirma v'yikach birchatecha, when he tells him that your brother came and took the berachot, ויאמר באחיך במרמה יקח ברכתך וכולי. And Yaakov Avinu said, and Yitzhak Avinu said, what can I do? גם ברוך יהיה. Where is it? מאיפה הצצית ויבא לי ואוכל מכל בטרם תרבו ואברכהו גם ברוך יהיה. I blessed him and he should remain being blessed. If your plan, if your agenda was to give the beracha for whatever reason to Esav, why when you realized that you were tricked and gave the berachot to Yaakov instead, you reconfirmed the berachot and you said, Gam Baruch Yeh, and Esav completely lost it. So, to understand that, we need to go back to the very, very beginning of the birth and the time of Yaakov and Esav. We all know, it's pretty famous, that the conflict between Yaakov and Esav, although we have in mind that Yaakov and Esav were two complete human beings, one was completely evil and one was completely righteous, and they both are representing two separate ways of life. We know that from the very, very beginning, way even before they were born, there is a famous midrash that explains that Vaitrotzesu habanim bekirba was basically a real strong debate between Yaakov and Esav. And the debate was that Yaakov Avinu and Esav had a conversation. They had a board meeting. They had a conversation because they both knew that they are coming to what we know as Olam Hazeh. They're coming to this world. They're coming to the natural, materialistic world when there is food, there is life, there is cars, there is homes, there is all kinds of materialistic things that creates pleasure, joy, happiness, and a lot of good stuff in what we call Olam Hazeh. But they both knew that Olam Hazeh, it's an imagination kind of a world. They know that this world is really a temporary. They knew that this world is just a temporary world. It's just a means, structure for us to go through. It's a journey place to go through in order to be able to be in what we call a permanent world, Olam Haba. So there is a spiritual world out there called Olam Haba, and there is the physical world we call Olam Hazeh. And they came to this world. Before they came to this world, Esav and Yaakov had a debate. Are we going to dedicate life to Olam Hazeh? Are we going to dedicate life to Olam Haba? And they had a deal that Esav is going to have. They split the world. Esav is going to take Olam Hazeh, and Yaakov is going to take Olam Haba. Esav is going to enjoy this world, this physical world. Yaakov Avinu is going to dedicate his life to the spiritual place of Olam Haba, and Shalom al Israel, and everything is fine. Had Olam Hazeh, had Olam Haba. And this is how they came out to the world. This is how they came out to the world. And when they came out to the world, they realized that there is a problem. I don't know if this is just, they realized that intellectually in the moment, because they probably realized that before too. But when they came to this world, they realized that this deal is an empty deal. It's a fake deal. This deal can never survive. Why? Because the ultimate work of a human being, the ultimate purpose of all this Olam Hazeh, is for a person who comes to this world to be able to work and to develop his life in Olam Hazeh, and through Olam Hazeh you can get to Olam Haba. There is no shortcut. There is no way to give up Olam Hazeh and go to Olam Haba. In order to gain power of Olam Haba, we need to go through this world. We need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to derive pleasures, we need to get all kinds of things through Olam Hazeh and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Olam Hazeh, and for the merit of doing that, we can go to Olam Haba. But there is no way to overcome this Olam Hazeh. There is no way to shortcut, to skip Olam Hazeh, to get to Olam Haba. So Esav and Yaakov can never do the deal to work. They can never make the deal to work. But the truth is, this is not a real concern. Lama, why? Because be'emet, the whole idea of Yaakov and Esav was not to have two forces that contradict each other. One Olam Hazeh, one Olam Haba. No. The whole idea of Yaakov and Esav was that Yaakov and Esav can complete each other. How can Yaakov and Esav complete each other? Esav is going to be in charge of Olam Hazeh, to develop Olam Hazeh. Esav is going to be in charge to create fruits, so Yaakov can eat the fruits and say a beracha before and after, and he will have koach to learn Torah and to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and to get the zechut of Olam Haba for what he does. And the zechut of what Esav did in Olam Hazeh to support Yaakov, that combination will give the zechut of Olam Haba for both. Yaakov and Esav, by definition, were not born as enemies. They were born as two forces in the world to support each other. Esav will create cars so Yaakov can drive to Bet HaKnesset. Whatever Esav is going to create, it will be for Yaakov to be able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that merit will get both of them the Olam Haba. ויאהב יצחק את עשיו כציד בפיו. Yitzhak Avinu loved Esav. He knew who Esav was. He knew what Esav is focusing his life on. But he encouraged that. Esav, go to work. Go create the world. Go create the most beautiful world out there. Because when you are doing this, and Yaakov will enjoy it, when Yaakov will benefit from it, you're both going to get the berachos. When Yaakov Avinu was born, the Torah said, "Ve'acharechen yatsa achiv, ve'yado ohezet ba'akev Esav." There was a linkage, there was a connection between Yaakov and Esav. They were not just two separate forces. Yaakov Avinu was holding ba'akev Esav. Esav, we are partners. You're not a separate entity. We are together. You're going to do Olam Hazeh for the purpose of Olam Haba. You're going to create Olam Hazeh for the sake of me serving a Kadosh Baruch Hu in the spiritual world. Then the physical become spiritual. That was the deal. That was the deal between Yaakov and Esav. Until Esav had a breach of contract. Until Esav decided to break the deal. At what point Esav decided to break the deal? When Esav came to Yaakov and he said, "Hey, I want you to al-'itini na min ha'adom hazeh. I'm hungry and I want you to feed me." Said Yaakov, "Vayomer Yaakov michrach hayom et bechoratecha li." Sell me your firstborn rights. What does that mean? What rights? You sell me your firstborn rights. ויאמר עשיו, הנה אנוכי הולך למות. What does that mean, הולך למות? I'm going to die? What, Esav felt that he's going to die now? Esav made a very specific declaration. He said, הנה אנוכי הולך למות, Velama zeli bechora, said Yaakov, I am going to get from you, I'm going to buy from you the zechuyot you are going to get from our father Yitzhak. You are the firstborn, you have the zechut. Said Esav, no, I don't need any zechut from my father. Ine anochi olech lamut, this olam hazeh is the only thing I care for. Ine anochi olech lamut, meaning this is the philosophy of those people that believe that the entire purpose of living in this world is to get as much benefit as we can get in this world, and after you give away your last breath, there is nothing after. There is nothing to pursue, there is nothing to aspire for. Olam hazeh is here for now. Echol hayom ki mahar namut. There is no other world. Hine anochi olech lamut, meaning this is the only world that exists. Kafar ba'olam haba. There is no olam haba for Esav anymore. When Esav broke the deal, now the world has shifted. Now the world has shifted. Shifted to what? Shifted to the necessity of Yaakov Avinu to create the olam hazeh for his own self. If up until now, if up until this point, Yaakov Avinu relied on Esav to create the world, the physical world, and for him to benefit from it, and together they are going to create the olam haba for both. Now when Esav pulled himself out, was the time for Yaakov to start to generate olam hazeh even for himself. Now that this is the game, it's pretty clear to understand the rest. Vayiki zaken Yitzhak, and when Yitzhak wanted to give the berachot, what is the berachot? The berachot is olam hazeh, v'iten lecha Elokim, mital hashamayim, u'mishmanei haaretz, v'rov dagan v'tirosh, I will make you rich and you will be successful and you will have everything you need. Vayikra et Esav beno hagadol, he calls his Esav, his oldest son, firstborn son, Esav. Vayomer, hine zakanti lo yada'ati yom moti, go get me some food so I will bless you. When Rivka heard that, she said, wait a second. There is no way to give the berachot to Esav. Because Esav is no longer in the deal. Esav is no longer in the agreement that he will create olam hazeh for Yaakov. He pulled himself out and he only cared about his own self. His olam hazeh was the only thing he cared for. So Rivka said, no, that's not going to happen. Because now Yaakov Avinu has to create this. So she gave the food to Yaakov, and the Torah said, when Yaakov Avinu came, listen to this, when Yaakov Avinu came, he said, Vayomer hineni mi ata beni, and the whole world is questioning, is worrying about, did Yaakov Avinu titen emet leYaakov? Did Yaakov Avinu say the truth? Did Yaakov Avinu has v'shalom lied? And there are all kinds of explanation by the Hachamim. But here is the simple one. Vayomer Yaakov el aviv anochi Esav bechorecha. I am accepting the role of Esav bechorecha, because Esav is no longer on the deal. He sold me the bechorah. Now I am in charge of olam hazeh. So you want to give the berachot? I deserve to get the berachot because Esav gave me his role. Vayomer Yitzhak el Yaakov geshana va'amushecha ata ze beni. And we see that he is not sure. Vayomer akol kol Yaakov vayadayim yedei Esav. Akol kol Yaakov v'yadai b'yadei Esav is the kind of a person that is working in this world. He's making a living in this world. As Yaakov Avinu himself, when he worked in the field of Lavan with his animals, and Yaakov Avinu said, "Aiti bayom achalani horeb v'kerach b'layla v'tiddad shenati me'einai." Yaakov Avinu worked very, very hard to make his fortune. Not because Yaakov Avinu cared to be a billionaire, but Yaakov Avinu became the one who is responsible to generate, to create the Olam Hazeh for the sake of Olam Haba. He took both jobs. Yaakov Avinu now became Hakol Kol Yaakov in the world of Torah, of spirituality. He is Hakol Kol Yaakov, but he is working in the field of Hayadai Midei Esav. So it could be the truth to say, could be, that when Yitzhak Avinu saw, Hakol Kol Yaakov Hayadai Midei Esav, it was not a confusion. It was the new description of Yaakov. That Yaakov Avinu is Kodesh Kodashim, Hakol Kol Yaakov. Yet when he needs to work, he worked like as if Esav works. But for the sake of being able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he gave him the berachot, V'yiten lecha Elokim, mital hashamayim, v'shemanei haaretz. And when Esav came to Yaakov and he said, "What happened to my beracha?" When he said, "What happened to my beracha?" and Yitzhak Avinu realized that he gave the beracha of Esav and Yaakov to the right person, because now Yaakov Avinu has the role of and the control of Olam Hazeh as well. Then came Yitzhak Avinu and say, "Ba achicha b'mirma v'yikach birchatecha." He took your beracha. What beracha? To have a successful life in Olam Hazeh. He took your beracha because your beracha was for him. And now that he deserves that, this is his beracha, gam baruch yeh. And that was the moment when Esav said, when he started to complain, but it was an epiphany for Esav. It was a great epiphany for Esav. When Esav said, "Dad, Abba, habaracha ahat hi lecha avi? Do you only have one beracha? Give me also a beracha." That was the moment that he got the epiphany, when he understood for the first time that the beracha of Esav and the beracha of Yaakov is one beracha. So the beracha ahat hi lecha avi, meaning to say that the only reason Yitzhak planned, the only reason Yitzhak Avinu planned to give the beracha to Esav was in order to link it with the spiritual force of Yaakov. HaBaracha, this is one beracha. You're going to create Olam Hazeh for Yaakov Avinu to be able to get to Olam Haba, and together this is one beracha. But when you pulled out yourself from it, now the beracha ahat came to one person, to Yaakov Avinu. And be'emet, that's the truth. When we pay attention to this journey of Yaakov and Esav, and we see that Yaakov and Esav are representing the two different philosophies that many people have in the world. There are so many people that living life with the real belief that they carry, that Olam Hazeh is the world. Olam Hazeh is the world, meaning to say, every single day, every single moment in my life, all I care about is how to make my physical life in this world a better one, a more successful one, and more beneficial one, and more pleasurable one, because this is the world. We're going to work 24/7 to make sure we have enough money, to make sure we have the best house, to make sure we have the best cars, to make sure we have the best pleasures in this world as much as possible here. And we're going to pay zero attention to our spiritual being and spiritual journey in life. So that was the Esav after he got out of the deal. But being Yaakov and being the descendants of Yaakov Avinu, we should understand that what HaKadosh Baruch Hu has blessed us with is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us this world to benefit from it. Borei Olam is not telling us not to benefit from this world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created all kinds of beautiful places for us to see and to enjoy. Borei Olam is giving us health. Borei Olam is giving us greatest food in the world that we should benefit from. Using Olam Hazeh, using the materialistic world, is a blessing. As long as we understand that everything in this Olam Hazeh that we have, all the blessings Borei Olam blessed us with, are nothing but the means that we can use so we can elevate the physical world into the spiritual journey and the ultimate spiritual goal. And I don't believe for a second that this is an easy task. I don't believe that it is easy to say or it's easy to live life in a way that we are not paying attention to the pleasures and to the joy of this world. Because this world can be a very, very deceiving world. We can easily get the impression that the most important thing in this world is living in this world. And you can ask many people, and when you see the priority, the top priorities of people, sometimes you can hear people say, what's the most important thing in your life? People say, in Lashon HaKodesh, in Hebrew, people say, Ha'ikar HaBriut. What does Ha'ikar HaBriut means? The most important thing in life is to be healthy. There is no worse joke than those words. The most important thing in the world is to be healthy. Health has only value if what I use the health for is purposeful and meaningful. But if all I care about is to be healthy and getting up in the morning to create nothing and go to sleep at night after I successfully created nothing, what's the point of health? The whole idea of living life in this world has to be with a meaning and the purpose of elevating this world into the spiritual being. And if we can create a spiritual being through the physical world become a holy world as it was created for. Ezrat Hashem, should all pray that Kadosh Baruch Hu will open our eyes, will allow us to understand and to realize that the least of our priorities has to be set in the right way. And we shall never forget that the most important goal in our life is to serve Borei Olam and to serve Borei Olam for the purpose He created us for. It's easy to allow this world to deceive us. But Rabbotai, this is important to remember, that we are here for a mission. We are here for a purpose. We are here to serve. We can use any benefit in this world. But don't forget the difference between the means and the ultimate goal. Thank you.